Hello there guys, it's Captain Invisible here and welcome to turn number 3 of the custom campaign mod for Medieval 2 Total War. This is the Tyronian hot seat and we are playing as Russia, or the Principality of the Amber Plains as we renamed ourselves. So let us jump into this and see what we can do for this turn. Excellent. So the end of turn report says that the Pyramids are top militarily, with the Mongols being top financially. Again, no surprise for those two because they are both AI, and the AI likes to cheat because it's no good at the game. Production, we've got the Holy Scottish Kingdom of the Ralinad. Then population, we've got the Aztec Empire, and the Aztec Empire are also top overall. So again, it's the Aztec Empire did have a lot to start with, so they are top generally anyway to start with, just because they don't have the technology and advancement that other factions do. So, we did hit a bit of a snag this turn, a bit of a speed bump. This army under Prince Vladimir has been defeated, or broken his siege. On playtesting, this didn't usually happen, and I did buy the mercenary crossbowmen just to stop it from happening, but it's happened in this hot seat. Playtesting obviously doesn't give a full indication of whether something's going to work or not. It doesn't matter all that much, it's just a bit of a snag. It means that we're not going to be able to do as much this turn. It means that we're not going to be able to do this siege for one, and it means that we are going to be held back in that regard. So well, we're just gonna have to relay siege to this to this settlement, and then get all of these troops merged. Hopefully, the mercenary spearmen will avoid this army getting sallied out on again. It has given these troops some nice upgrades though, so they're gonna be a little bit harder to defeat. So that's gonna be a funny little issue as well. Whether it means that they're going to have more chance at selling out to us again, I don't know. If it does happen again, there's pretty much nothing I can do about it other than pulling this army back and reassessing the entire assault over here, which I really didn't want to have to do. I am on the clock to push down here as quickly as possible and into the Turks' lands, because you're going to have the Venetians wanting to push up this way. In fact, they're quite far away. You're going to have the Papal States again wanting to push over here, and you'll start to take some of these lands. You're going to have the Byzantines coming down and swallowing up these lands. The Mongols are going to want to expand up this way and cut me off over here. So there's a lot that is going to be happening as soon as I catch these settlements, and time is of the essence in campaigns like this, especially for the first few turns. Generally on turn 3 I like to capture a few settlements and really lay my mark, but that's not going to happen now that this force is unable to take this settlement until next turn. We can fortunately do this battle over here with Grand Duke Yesevalod, and have him take this settlement here, Tivador. So we can definitely do that. Funnily enough, the other siege, the Trinistal siege, was the easier siege, simply because I have crossbowmen and archers and I can just shoot things up. This one is slightly harder, but it's not impossible, and there is a way to do it. A combination of a nice infantry unit, some cavalry, some general heavy cavalry work, and my archers should be enough to help us with this battle. There's not really anything too worrying except for the spearmen that can stop us in this one, and hopefully if I pair up the right units against the right units, we should have victory. Okay, so the first things first, we're going to keep this arch unit over here. Maybe over here. I could position it right the way over here actually, but yeah, we'll keep it here. Over there. Then we're going to bring our woodsman all the way over here with the general. Then we're going to keep our horse archers over here with the archers, just in case the AI pulls any funny business in this battle. So the idea is going to be that this arch unit here is going to fix some of the enemy forces over on this wall. We need to keep as much of the enemy force over here as possible, because we are going to, in fact, let me do something a bit sneaky, because we need this unit to move all the way around undeterred and open these set of gates so that our general can come in and cause some mayhem. Unfortunately, the AI does recognise this and it does try and stop us, but if we play our cards right, we should be fine. So we can start moving that way. So what we're actually going to do is something that will probably freak the AI out to no end. We're going to go like this. We'll stop these archers from marching at the walls. Don't think I'm going to march these archers straight up to the walls with these towers and these set of archers. But I just want to scare the AI into thinking that I'm going to attack this set of walls. I don't think it's taken the bait. This set of archers is really wanting to chase down my woodsman, which is fine. I can let them do that. They're not going to stop my woodsman. But what I do want to do is drag these archers as far away from these spear support as possible. These spearmen, if they get on the walls, they'll probably beat my woodsman with support, and if they with tower support. Especially with the archers, and especially with the horse archers as well. Yeah, these spearmen are not buying it. That's fine. All it means is I'm going to have to book it all the way around here, and hopefully get around the fact that there's spearmen coming. Because I want to, if I can get these archers on the walls, defeat these archers, then that would be great. Ideally, I could do with getting my woodsman here and just like charging them through these gates. That could work. Could go this way actually. Spearmen are coming on. Oh no, they're not coming onto the walls just yet. At least we're keeping these archers fixed, but it's just going to be whether these woodsmen can get around and get on these walls before the enemy archers know what's what. What I'm going to do is just maybe take some fire from the peasant archers over here. We're really starting to unload on my woodsman. That's really not what I want. because my woodsmen really don't like archers at all. I'm getting to fire at my general. Yeah, that's it. That'd be a little bit more fortunate. Not going to take as many casualties from my general, but these towers are really ripping into my woodsmen. Spearmen seem to be pulling back, which is a good sign. It means that I can get on these walls unmolested.
The ladders are now in place. Walls are no match for the fury of the north.
Well, fairly unmolested, but unfortunately we took some really heavy casualties doing all this. But it will give us what we need, so we just have to endure.
The Lord is with us today. We have captured the enemy's walls.
The AI does really hate it when you take the walls as well, so that's certainly something. And this set of walls looks like it is undefended, which again is why I had two sets of ladders. There are those spearmen about though, which is a problem, but what's my general doing? You think he's cool running in and out of the gates? Uh-oh, this is a funny position. The AI usually never splits these horse houses up, it usually always keeps them in one big blob. Which is usually better for me. Well, we should be able to slaughter these archers, especially considering we've got two men flanking. One man flanking.
The enemy general lies dead. We have sent the Tur to hell.
So the enemy general's being killed. And that just are going for the walls okay. The woodsmen are getting absolutely slaughtered. Because they're getting fired on by horse archers as well. We can soon silence them though. At least we've got our general in, so these archers are going to have to come off the walls to stop our general. Yeah, loss of the woodsman is tough, but it happens.
Men have reached the walls with their ladders.
Yeah, we're going to pull away from that. Not if my archers fight spearmen on the walls. Definitely not. I will go back there, but Not just yet. I need to get those spearmen off the walls, which is why my general is now inside the settlement, causing some mayhem. Yeah, it's not going too well. I've had better than this, but considering how god awful this this turn started out at with that loss of the well, with that loss, then I'm not actually too surprised. It's something that is bound to happen to the best of us, so it's not too horrendous. Let's get rid of these horse archers.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Spearmen are coming up now. Let's see if we can actually cut them down as they're trying to get into the town centre.
My lord, curses! Our men no longer
It's
command
currently
the
shaken
castle.
and wavering, so a general's bodyguard should be able to rout them. There we are. I said we're not wanting to rout. Not in the slightest.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
We really need to capture all these spearmen. Ideally. I'm not going to break them now. So we'll just pull back and wait for our archers to come in and finish the job. That's what they're here for. What we can do actually, with our general, is hunt down some foot archers who are now trying to scramble back to the town centre. So yeah, it's not going too badly, but I mean I've had better. The age-old saying of I've had better. But we have archers now in, and we're going to be able to slaughter these archers that are trying to make it back to the town centre. It won't let me attack them because some of them must be partially on the wall. That's okay because I can completely cheese the
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
cheese our units into actually attacking these poor archers. why these guys are on fire arrows. We need to deal with these
Our men are
spearmen.
winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
You guys are not going to attack the archers at all. Figures. There we are, that's better. I didn't think I'd have to cheese the AI that much. These kind of battles, these kind of sieges are all about just making the AI do what you want and cheesing them beyond belief. Until you really get strong artillery where you can just blast down the walls. There's not a lot you're going to be able to do against the AI at this stage, in these sort of sieges. Because if you try to attack the walls directly with ladders, then and the AI is prepared for it, it's just going to slaughter your men regardless of what kind of AI it is. So this unit is currently not moving. It's absolutely fine. It can stay there all it wants. All I'm going to do is attack the town centre and kill all of these units.
My lord, our men are in command of the castle.
Bit of friendly fire.
Attack quickly! Attack quickly!
Yeah, so I'll quite happily stay here until the AI decides to shift itself. So yeah, loss of a woodsman. Woodsmen aren't the best, so it's not the end of the world. I'll just use spearmen as my infantry, but it's a lot more than I wanted to lose in this battle. I've not lost too many archers, so I think I lose more archers when I practice this, simply because them being on the walls and having archers in the town centre, it just turned out into a bit of an archery duel. I didn't usually lose a cavalry unit, but I seem to lose a lot more cavalry in this one than in my practices, so I can afford a little bit of leeway. Yeah, a lot more losses. I'll say I've had 54. I've had about 54 losses before in this battle, but I don't think I'm going to get any better. It's just the way that battle went. I've played it. I've had it where I've had less losses. It's not the end of the world, me losing that many men in this one. To be honest, it's not a major battle. It's just a little siege to take this settlement. But we did get 4 units of Kazakhs. That makes up for that loss, I believe. That is a very useful thing to have. Probably get them immediately to work.
If it is a fight you wish, come. Can I help? Trustworthy foe. What lies do you bring us then? Unfortunately, we
Could really do with this these forces. Or I might use them as spy bait and assassin bait. As long as I know where they are. I'm not going to destroy them. Certainly not with my cavalry. I need my cavalry intact. We're probably going to move these cavalry maybe down this way. Again, I'm not sure where I want to expand yet. The Mongols do, I think, eventually take a castle up here, which is a bit scary. But I do want to take that castle that's over here, so thinking if we move down to DeWalt, we should be in a better position. That's going to currently be an ongoing siege. We need another stables here, which basically takes up all our funds, which is less than ideal. If I can't build a spy, I can build a spy. It was probably the spy and the spearmen that overdid my budget, which is fine. It is still killing my budget though, which isn't great. It was quite a significant setback, at least early game, but taking that settlement next turn should be top priority. And if I can't take it next turn, well, in fact, my cavalry won't be able to make it next turn. But I'll be slightly slightly upset because my practice with this really didn't have that setback, so it has really thrown me off that happening. So you need to stay there because I need you to get a prince. I'm gonna have ballista next turn, so actually we could attack with this army in a ballista against the rebel settlement down there. I don't think I'll take the king, cause I think, or the duke, because I think I get a prince next turn, on offer for a prince next turn. I think is slightly better. At least this guy's brave. I mean, in fact, he got a star. This guy's got a few stars. Nice. It's quite nice actually. It must have just got those from being completely ruthless, because he was the best unit in that battle. Oh no, I did save my woodsman. I do have some woodsmen left. That's good. There's not many of them, but there'll be a fort bait and things. They'll do the job. Speaking of forts, I forgot to build a watchtower here, but I wouldn't have had enough really anyway. Excellent. I think that was everything I wanted to do. Yeah, I got that sorted. In fact, all that cavalry is really going to hit my troop upkeep, which is why I need these guys moving as quickly as possible. I could go down to Dewalt and get these guys moving as well with them. Get moving towards this castle. We don't really need a general. If we do, I guess I could send. My king. We do need is. I guess I could. Can I afford a watchtower right there? Help keep an eye on that whole section. Give us some vision on the border there. Yeah, get king moving. See if we can set up a fort here and gather all of these troops. And any ballista take 2 turns. I think we should just be able to siege this settlement. It's not going to be an issue just doing that. Excellent. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine. Just to get a fort here and just to build up. So we do actually have a bit more military than we did in the play test, which is good. Yeah, we are going to be losing a bit more money because we don't have free upkeep on some of the units, but again, it's the price I pay for needing to do what has to be done, which is push forward as quickly as possible and try and recoup the loss of this. If this fails again, it's going to really set me back. I really can't afford it to do that. Just want to keep that cavalry unit spare, because again, if the AI is going to lay siege over here, I do want a cavalry unit at least in here to act as a reserve. And then I say, once these guys are done attacking here, I can send this unit of cav down to retrain over here, and then I have 2 units of cav here, these 4 units of cav over here. So we can then either use this army plus a bit extra to push forward here, getting spearmen and archers from here, cavalry from over here, and then pushing over this way, or we can double back on ourselves, use that as an outpost, double back and maybe go Mongols or up this way. Just realised there's a volcano there. It's very interesting. Yeah, Mordor. This is where I said Mordor would likely beat into. Yeah, all of these volcanoes. This is definitely hated Mongol lands. But yeah, we'll stick with that. See what that does, how that treats us. I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice population growth for a bit higher tax rate. Really. We're going to have to. So in terms of the human factions, looks like the Holy Roman Empire are actually shooting up, which is grand. Again, with the Scottish doing well, the rest of us are kind of level, although we are bottom of all the human players, simply because I think our start's very slow and very methodical, whereas everyone starts next to each other, so they generally have better trade lanes and things. It's all a bit better for them. That, and we've not built roads yet. We're very unproductive. Roads would definitely be used for Dewalt though, but we need to wait for this to finish. So next turn we should be able to do roads at Dewalt. Capture this next turn, and then we should be able to build roads here. So we'll have a road network down here and a road network here. Don't really want to build roads here or here. I am basically next to a road here, so building a road here would only make access into my lands easier, and I really don't want access over here to be easier. I wonder if you can move through there. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can move through this way. What's that doing? Overall, human. Military, after that setback, I would be very surprised if we managed to get anywhere near these guys now. But militarily, Venice again still top military power, probably because the spear militia or militia spearmen, Italian spear militia, do have more potency to them. As you can see, the rest of the factions are kind of all together because their units aren't as potent. Scotland took a hit there. I wonder what they took a hit from. Production, at least we're doing well in production. Yeah, I think we're just on the level actually. Scotland's production's higher than us. We are second with the Holy Roman Empire. So at least we're doing well production wise. Territorial, we didn't take any territory last turn, so we are still on the level. We would have taken one next turn and then another one. Next turn it will show us that we've taken Tivador, and then the next turn we'll be able to capture Trinistal, so that'll show up there. Financially, we are middle of the pack. Financials isn't too. Well, it's quite important for building things, but I mean, it's not the end of the world because people will be spending on military and things, so again, not too bad. Allies, no allies as of yet. People haven't officially stated alliances, but we do have a new name, the Disciples of Tyrone. Praise him is their motto, and they are the papal states who are situated on this little island here, so finally rename themselves, ready for action. I believe that's everything. I don't want to ramble on too much. I was hoping this turn would last a bit longer again with that siege, but it can't be helped. We're going to group our army here and hopefully do some movement towards this castle. See what we can do. See what we can do there, and then build the stables here. and get things shifting. Again, financially we're not going to be doing too great, but we at least have quite a large military. I think our military is probably going to shoot up with these guys. I don't know how much they improve our military, but it'll at least show us having some form of strong military. Capture this, and then we can get rid of these mercenaries and maybe leave a peasant archer here and move these guys maybe down or wherever. I don't really want to use my Grand Duke too much. He's 51, so he's going to die soon anyway, and then it's going to be Prince Vladimir who's going to take over, but at the same time I don't want him to die. Although I really need to use him, use him or let him die. So, is there any way to improve my income, really? Taxes. Got some nice trade going at the capital. Trade and taxes. Do with setting up some farmland. It's ironic that I have all of this farmland and all of these sort of nice farming bonuses, and I don't actually have farm upgrades. But they're not really that important. They're a bit lackluster, I found, in campaigns. I could do with getting roads up first, so they won't need some roads. This place needs some roads, and then we can go from there. But I'll leave it at that. As I say, we're building our stables, which is important. And we are relaying seas to Trinstal, which shouldn't push us back again. But I'm not so sure, especially after we lost quite a lot of units from this horse archer. It's not happened in my playtesting, so it came as quite a surprise. My only hope is to re-siege it and see what happens. But we should be on even footing now because of my spear strength. But again, I'm not too sure. The flags tell a slightly different story. But if they do push us back again, we are just literally going to have to leave it alone and play a bit more cowardly, hold back a bit more, and see what we can see if we can build up some troops at Dathal and go from there, which will be disappointing, but it'll have to happen. Again, I'm putting all my faith in keep maintaining order here. It seems like it's going to be a common theme of me attacking the AI and then the AI deciding to sally out. Which is why I'm probably the best person to stay here, because I'm not going to absolutely destroy the AI. The AI is going to be, funnily enough, a real problem for me, but simply because the amount of units they spam out, the fact that they cheat with the money, and just things like this, me trying to be a bit ballsy and them shooting me down completely is going to be really frustrating. So we'll end the turn. Save that. Let's do the disciples. Let's just praise him. Turn 3. Yeah, I want to use that as my save, as my save file. So yeah, that was turn number 3. Not as exciting as I thought it would be, but you got to see at least that siege, even if it was a terrible, terrible siege where I lost a unit of woodsmen. But as I say, you got to at least see that and see my plan for the future. And we did get our horse archers. I was hoping it would be horse archers, and we did get them. We got 4 units of them. I thought it would only give us 2, so that's excellent. We get to use those guys, and it means we don't have to recruit horse archers for a while. It means we can just use those guys and retrain those guys as and when we need them. So that was a bit that was really useful as well. But thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.